they blow away in the wind. When the ball hits it, they go away, they get knocked over. These are fantastic. These are great cones to use. So I would recommend, again, I know it's all about finances, but if the club that you're at can look at getting some of those, they are great, because with kids and senior players, that they get frustrated when the cone gets kicked and the cones have got to be moved. These are great. They don't move around in the wind. They do. They do. Now, if this was just a one-off session, I'd be a bit frustrated because I haven't shown you half of what I was going to show you. And it always works that way. But hopefully it's an incentive to come back in March and we'll do a lot more. We need to do shooting, which again, I've just dispelled I always do shooting. Every session we do shooting. You have to do shooting. There has to be a target of why you're doing stuff. But what we've done today is we've tried to show you how we organize the grids, how we get players engaged. The warm-ups, please use the ball as much as possible. If they've got a ball each, great. If they've got a ball between two, then get one running around, one following with the ball. Okay? The little goals, passing the ball through the goals. Or if you're working with kids, work in pairs, have one of the partner just stand with the legs apart. And you dribble and you push the ball through and you go around the whole group. Keep changing partners. Again, because if you give them a choice, I'm always going to go with him because he's my mate. But everybody needs to be with each other. And that's part of the team culture. Everybody's got to play with each other. And when you have a competition, see which team can get the most points. You're working in pairs. He goes first. He gets a score. Then I go. We either compete against each other or we work together as a team. We add our scores together, see which pair has got the most points. And it would mean that if I'm the not so good player and he's the good player and he comes with me at one of the times, what's he got to do? What's he got to do to try and win the competition still? Try and help him. Or he's got to work damn hard, quicker, because he knows that I'm probably not going to be as quick. He's going to work really hard to try and score the points. Then when it's my turn, what do you want him to do? Absolutely. Come on, John. Come on, Johnny. Come on. Come on. So he's still very much part of the team and not, I'm going to get lots of scores. He's not going to get many. So, no, you're developing the team culture. You're trying to get them to work together to be able to be successful. Because again, you're going to have, like here today, some are first-time coaches, some have been coaching for a while. You're going to have players who are that ability, and you're going to have players at that ability. And that's your challenge as a coach, to be able to put them together as a team. But it's so exciting. You start off with a group of kids who don't know each other, they don't know you, and by the end of the season, they're just having fun, and they're sometimes having success, sometimes not, but they're still learning. And your job as a coach is to learn. And again, Andy touched on it, and I've always said it, the importance that you have in a child's life, sometimes you don't understand how important you are. And because of families and whatever, you become the most important. A story which I'll never forget, was told to us by one of my university lecturers at Durham. He said that, and again, it was a friend of his, he was teaching in Canada. Actually, he was lecturing at a university in Canada. And on the Friday afternoon, him and his mates had booked to go away skiing up in the mountains. And they had to leave as soon as the lectures had finished. And they had to get away because it was about a 3-hour drive. And one of the students came up to him and said, can I talk to you? He said, no, I can't talk. He said, I've got this, I've got to go. No, I need to talk to you. Please, can I talk? No, I'll see you Monday. I'll see you Monday. Sorry, I'm going skiing. I've got to go, blah, blah, blah. Shut away. He committed suicide over the weekend. He killed himself. And that story's just stuck in my mind from 40 years ago, that you don't understand. Oh, sorry, I'm sure that some of you do, but the importance that you have. It's not just about coming along to training, picking 2 teams and playing a game. It's about developing, as Andy said, not only the technical side of the game, but you're developing them as good human beings, and they are an integral part of the club, and you're trying to build up that through the years of your coaching. So your coaching ability is just, it's so important. We haven't touched on shooting, which is really, I'll show you the best shooting practice. Best shoot. If you've got portable goals, obviously stick them in. Portable goals, portable goals. You got the pitch, set up a pitch, and what I do with senior players is use the 18-yard box, and I have double the size. So just say that's the end of the 18-yard box. We then do another 18-yard box, goals. There could be goals with nets, there could be posts, whatever, and just play 6v6, 7v7 with goalkeepers. Just play in an area that's twice the size of a penalty area. For senior players, that means that wherever senior players get the ball in that area, if they're facing that way, they should be able to shoot. And the game is about shooting. First option in this game is shooting. Just play 7v7, lots of balls there, lots of balls there. Play 7v7. Have different conditions. 1 touch, 2 touch, only score with a 1 touch finish. They've got to have 5 passes before they actually shoot. You can change all the conditions. If you have a lot of players, then put some extra players on the outside as bouncers. Or you put servers there that you can't score until you play the ball to one of the servers and then it comes back. So it becomes a realistic finish. So you have people on the outside who are still involved. Play 7v7, lots of shots on goal. First option in the game. So when I get the ball, instead of facing the wrong way, if I want to go there, if the goal's there, I've got to get side on. First option is, can I shoot? First option, okay, in this game. What's the second option? Okay, what's you probably know. What's the third option? Because to me, shooting is not only technical, shooting is up there. You've got to get people into the mind that they got to shoot. Some people don't want to shoot because they don't want to miss and they don't want to get shoot. First option. Obviously, in time, then you start to modify it by saying, okay, if you can't shoot, can you pass to somebody? But can you pass to somebody who can then shoot? So again, it's not just smashing the ball. I can't shoot, but if I lay it like that, that encourages my teammate to come on and shoot first time. And most of the girls, again, with all this stuff I've done since 1998, most goals are scored from 5 passes or less. At the highest level, most goals are scored from 5 passes or less. So you could have the condition in this game that if you don't shoot within 5 passes, the other team gets the ball or the other goalkeeper gets the ball. So you're encouraging them to work hard to get your shots away. Because in the real game, goals are scored from 5 passes or less. So, and goals are sometimes scored from a 1-touch finish in the penalty area. So if you can set up that at the end of every session, do that for 15, 20 minutes, that is going to help your team. Shooting. Everything else is working towards that. You could even have a couple of small goals. If you don't have the goalkeepers, a couple of small goals, and they've got to score in the small goals. So you can develop lots of practices. Based on what we've done, and we're coming to the end, any questions? Anybody got any questions? Yes, miss?
Is it possible to train vision into a central midfielder, or do you just have to find someone?
Sorry, is it
possible to train a central defender to have vision, or do you just have to hope you find a player that has it?
No, one of the young lads I had at the Institute was a lad called, Matthew Spiranovic went on to play for Australia, and a guy called Nick Ansell, who played for Melbourne Victory. They were centre-backs, good centre-backs, but in one season, for half a season, I played them in midfield. because I knew that they were going to be a centre-back, but I want them to play in midfield so they could learn the skills of receiving the ball, but from 360 degrees. And they developed immensely. So they weren't midfield players. I'm a great believer in playing players in different positions. Be very careful to don't put them into pigeonholes too early. And I've been coaching since '77, so some people think I'm a dinosaur. I have changed. I've grown with the game, but I've still got old-fashioned values. I hate listening to kids saying, I'm a number 6, I'm a number 8, I'm a number 10. To me, that puts them into a box where they can only do a certain amount of job. If you're a defender, you're a defender. If the other team's got the ball, my centre forward's a defender. If the other team's got the ball, my right winger's a defender. I've got to teach them what do they do when they haven't got the ball. So you've got to play them in all. I would encourage you to play them in all kinds of positions. And even play the left footer on the right side, the right footer on the left side, defenders and attackers. Probably you're looking at around about 13, 14, where you're looking at specialisation in a way, but I would play players in different positions as often as possible. And again, it's your philosophy as a club with junior players. What are you going to tell everybody, parents, players? This year we're going to rotate players. This year we're going to have equal opportunities. This year the manager's going to keep a record of how many minutes players play. We're going to do equal game time, no matter whether we win, lose or draw. If you want to win a championship, then you have a different, but with young kids, I don't think it's winning championships. I think it's the process, not the outcome. Remember, you as development coaches are working on the process, not the outcome. Anything else? Yeah, no. Oh.
Yeah, what's your take on falling over and diving in the game? How we should address that players?
I had a player who went on to play for the soccer, actually went overseas, played. He was with a Premier League club. He didn't play for the Premier League club, but he played a championship club. Great player. At 14, he was streetwise. We were playing a game. It was a cup semi-final. We were playing a game, and he dived in the box. It was a close game. It was 2-2, and he dived in the box, and he dived. He cheated. He cheated. And he was the penalty taker. And it was a big game, and he got up, and you could see the smirk on his face because he conned the referee. And he got the ball ready to take the penalty kick with the last minute of the game. And I substituted him. I brought him off. He wasn't happy because he thought he was going to be the hero and score the goal, but he cheated. And I wasn't going to stand for that. If you're playing for tens of thousands of pounds and you're playing in the Premier League, then you probably do those sorts of things. But from a junior point of view, I put him off. I took him off and made him sit on the bench and watch the lad score the goal and become the hero. He cheated.
It's hard to justify it.
It is.
To mates that don't play football, it's a tough.
It's a shocking trait. And also pulling a bid. If anybody again, I'm old-fashioned, but I don't have kids swearing. I'll send them off. I'll take them off training if they swear. If they abuse each other, I'll have a good word to them. I'll have a word to the parents. We've got to set standards. It's about setting standards. And we see too many things at the highest level that we allow to happen in our junior game. When I was running coaching courses, I used to love to go and watch games at weekend, and I'd stand between the two coaches' boxes. Now, I'm going back in the 90s when I was running it, so you guys probably weren't involved, or you might be. I used to stand in front of stand behind the box and listen to what the coaches would say. And there was often, I remember walking down to the fence line at half time and tapping the coach on the shoulder and saying to him, "You never learned that at my course." He's coaching the kids with a cigarette in his mouth. Excuse me, that's not acceptable. Another one, he was effing and blinding at the referee. He was swearing, he was shouting, effing this and effing that. One of his players got sent off for swearing. What's he going to say to the kid on a Tuesday night? He was as bad as the kid. So I used to love to stand there and then just tap him on the shoulder. I'm sorry, that behaviour. And when I was at the Federation, I think I cancelled 3 or 4 registration of coaches because their behaviour was unacceptable. Again, we have to set standards. We have to be a role model, and we have to live by what we talk about.
I think Ian, especially what I was saying, Vcfa, you know, we've got different standards there. So although we're playing the same game, we're playing it in a different way, we're playing it in a different fashion. That's important.
One of the things I did at the Federation, which I was really appreciative of, the Federation allowed me to restructure the coaching with Victorian soccer. And I brought the referees into the coaching associate. So the referees were part of the coaching department. And when I ran coaching courses, I'd get Chris Bambridge to send a referee for 1 hour so we could talk about referees. Coaches and referees need to work together. We have to protect our coaches, we have to protect our referees, and we have to have respect for each of our coaches. So that has to be done. And every Monday morning at the Federation, I'd get the referees to give us their reports of coaches who'd been reported on the weekend. And I'd spend Monday morning ringing the coaches and ringing the clubs of coaches who had acted inappropriately and put them on notice. If I hear this again, I'll take your license away. We have to have standards. Have to. We have to set good standards. So what we haven't done enough today, we haven't done enough of shooting. We haven't done enough of how the game's played. And how the game's played is the principles of play. And this is the formula. If you understand the formula, you'll help your players solve the problems. It's not about the coaches screaming. I was criticised once, well, not criticised, but somebody questioned. We were playing a game, an important game, and we got a corner. And my two centre-backs looked across to me at the bench and shouted across, do you want us to go up for the corner? And there was about a couple of minutes to go. Do you want us to go up for the corner? And I said, I just went like that. And they went, do you want us to go up? And I went, I want them to make the decision. Not me, I want them. We were winning 1-0. I want them to think, what's the benefit of going up and maybe scoring a second goal? Or should we just stay neat? Should we just compact? Game management is something that we have to teach our kids. But I'm not going to stand on the touchline and shout and scream. Sometimes the best coaches are the ones who don't say much because they've done all their work at training and they just stand back. And some of the best games, I took a team over to Europe in 2007. We went as the Joeys. We weren't, but the VIS went as the Joeys. The first game, we played the French national team. And Pogba was playing. And we scored first. We upset them. We scored first, and they got upset and beat us 6-1, but we scored first. But there was times when, even then, I was wanting to play the game, but I just wanted them to learn that they were getting really belted. But they had to learn that. And you've got to let the kids make the decisions. And they make the wrong choices at first. But in training, you're going to help them make the right choices. But I would encourage you, try not to be a commentator. Try and do your work at training. You've got to say things, obviously, but try not to tell everybody what to do. Let them do it. Let them make the mistakes. Best way. Training. Chaos is how you start. There's a great quote from Shakespeare. Something about something beautiful comes out of chaos. And it's like coaching. When you start coaching, it's chaotic. The kids don't know what to do. They're running into each other. They're kicking the ball away. It's chaos. But if you work at game sense approach, eventually it'll start to become clearer, and sometimes it does become beautiful. But initially, so don't get frustrated. If things aren't working, don't get frustrated. If the session didn't work, go away, think about it, look at your lesson plan, and say, okay, well, maybe the area was too big. Maybe I had too many players. Do a self-evaluation. Do the same session, but just tweak it. It didn't work last night, but hey, I'm going to go back again. I'm going to change the size, the conditions. I'm going to do this and that. It's going to work. And that's how we learn as well as the players learn. I've done all the mistakes. I've made every mistake as a coach. Every mistake. But you learn from the mistakes and you move on. Simple. Okay. As chairman of the Football Coaches of Australia, we've got memberships all over the country. We initially started off as a professional organisation. I'm trying to now develop more from a grassroots point of view. We run monthly workshops. I had Martin Hunter, who was the England under-20 manager, has coached at the highest level, is an incredible guy. He did a session on Monday about defending in the modern game online from the UK. 121 coaches from all over the country. We've got I've got the Chelsea guy coming on in March talking about talent identification. I've got the ex-Liverpool academy manager coming on in April. Tommy Samani, who's one of our, he's on my committee. Tommy's now the Matildas, the interim coach. Tommy's doing something in June. We've had loads of people, great people every month. I've got an offer for people here to join. It's normally, it's 125 joining fee, 125 a year. I've managed to get a special deal. There's no joining fee for anybody from Victorian churches, and it's only $75 a year. And for that, you get access to all the workshops completely free. They're online. You can sit in your home on a Monday night and listen to global world-class coaches talking about elite and grassroots. And I've got a program that's locked in till July every month, and then I'm working on July through to December. It's all about educating coaches. And I've told the Coaches Association that I want to do, which is why I'm here, I want to do more for grassroots football, because I think that's where our future is. The professionals, to a certain extent, they know it all. The grassroots people, I think, need a lot more support. So that's my email address. If you have any questions from today, I am retired, but I like to spend a bit of time on the golf course, but I'm quite happy to reply to any. FCA is something which I think can be really supportive of you. And if you're keen on being a member, it's a limited, I can only have it open for a certain period of time. We've put a special password onto the website. If you go onto the website, I'll write this.
We'll send it out in an email.
Will you?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
All right.
get it to me afterwards.
Okay. But it's something which I think you'll get great value and be able to share information from coaches from all around the world. Sorry? The CPD, yeah, you will get. Football Australia have now recognised this. I've been doing this for years, but it's took a while. But they finally recognised the value which we're doing. We are the only organisation outside of the state body that are offering CPD for registered coaches. You have to get 5 hours. It used to be points. It's now 5 hours a year to keep your registration, keep your licence. Every session that we've done so far, we've been given points. Eric Steele got 2 hours. Martin got 1 hour. But you can keep your accreditation purely and simply by sitting at home, listening to coaches, and only paying $75 a year without any joining fee. And it's a great network to be able to network with people. John Kosmina was on Monday night, just one of the coaches. The young girl, or the girl that just retired from the Matildas, Polkingthorne, the centre-back, she's just joined. Kat Smith, who is coaching at Western United. Kat is going to do a session next month, which we think is going to be a practical session for anybody that wants to go in and watch Kat work with Western United. These things are happening on a regular basis. If you're not a member, it costs you $22 per workshop. If you're a member, you pay $75 for the year, and you get everything for free, and you get access to our website. So I'll send you the details, send it out. But again, if you have any questions, please. But again, thank you so much for your time today. It's a lot of commitment to turn up and listen to somebody you don't know about talk about football. But I've got a passion. I'm not working full-time, but I am full-time football because I love the game and just been involved for so long. And I've been fortunate to be involved with so many groups. But the other group, just one more thing, Head Safe is a topic that we need to talk about more. If you come back in March, we will talk in more detail, and we'll go through games that we play that will educate kids on Head Safe and how we can hopefully minimize the amount of trauma that old people go through. People think that CTE is an old illness. It's not. It starts in the young people. And we've had too many committed suicide, young kids, particularly in AFL and rugby, but soccer's got a tradition now where we've got problems and we need. So heading is part of the game, but we have to teach it in a very responsive way, which we will do. And we'll talk about that more. So if you want to know more about Head Safe, I'm going to send you more information that you can spread around. I'll send it through. Use me as a resource, use me help, and hopefully this year we can move forward with your coaching. Thanks very much. Thank you.